were some of these challenges you had to overcome? And like, how did you do that?
Oh, well, I'll talk about, a lot of different challenges over the years. I would say, like, if I had to summarize it, a lot of moments where I was doubted because I was a woman, where I was taken advantage of, or I think about this when I first started my business and I just had a few clients. I made a placement. So I found this company, the perfect person. I had a contract in place. I check in with them at like the 3-month mark, and the client emails me and he's like, thanks for checking in. Jim is working out great. You found the perfect guy for our team. I took a look at your invoice and I decided I'm going to pay half of it because I want to support your little business. But I think that if I paid the full fee, that would be a little too much. So I'll write you a check for half of it and let's talk again in the future. And Kristi, I'm so embarrassed to admit I accepted it. And that was like, I was too scared to fight back. I was just like, I don't want to pick this battle. This guy has a reputation. He'll tell people that I wasn't willing to work with him. I want to be likable and flexible and, service oriented. And I went back to that email not that long ago, and like, it literally made my stomach turn that somebody even had the nerve to say, I'm just going to pay half your invoice.
I think I'm more disappointed in him. I don't want you to think that my shock and awe, for those of you who are not watching, my mouth was definitely wide open. I am not surprised on how you responded, because I think had I been in a similar situation at a similar stage where I'm trying to build a business, I'm young in my career, I'm early in this initiative, right? I don't want to burn bridges. It's, this is a very much a people, community, industry that we're in.
Yep.
Like the audacity that person has, like, how dare you? Like, I think of it shame on you.
Yeah. Like, would you ever hire a plumber? They come, they fix your toilet, and then you're like, all right, great job. I'm going to give you half of what you quoted.
Charlie, if a plumber came and fixed my toilet, I would pay him double, not half, because he did something I definitely don't want to do or couldn't do, right? Like, I think it's a travesty that that is even a situation you had to navigate professionally.
Thank you. And it's such an interesting lesson about leading with my heart versus my head, because the other embarrassing thing I will admit is that I continued to work with this client and he had like a lifetime 50% discount because that was how he was going to use our services. And I kind of just was in that mindset of like, the customer's always right. I need to prove myself. I need to build this business, whatever it takes. And it probably took about 3 or 4 years of working with this client and then hiring team members who were like, hold on, like, why are we doing this service for this guy at half the price? Like, it took other people being like, you were way too nice to him and you are allowed to tell him we're done. And you are allowed to say pay full price or the contract is gone. And that's what we ended up doing. But it really took my team being like, why were you so nice to him and continue to be? And I had no reason other than I wanted him to like me. And I was scared he'd tarnish my reputation if I didn't, please him.
Oh my gosh. Well, now you're giving me like the whole, I want to go to Mel Robbins and be like, let them.
Let them.
Let them. Let them.
Exactly.
Okay. Not that I want to derail this and make this about Mel, but
it
is very much like, they're like, yes, then let them leave. So I have to ask, you went back and told him, this is our rate. I'm sorry. Thanks for playing. Did he pay the new rate?
No, we do not work with him anymore.
Huh.
And I have no idea how he's recruiting his
Good
people.
riddance.
And
Goodbye.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
let them. We let them.
Exactly. We let them. And it's an interesting part of an entrepreneur's journey, or maybe just any leader's journey, where there is a turning point where all of a sudden you're like, wait, I can say no. And I think that was really empowering for me and my team. We call it breaking up with a client. But, for many years, it was like we just took the business and, looked the other way. And then I would hear, a client treated our team member poorly. How can we put someone in a position to work at his company if he can't even respect us as a partner?
Right.
And those situations, like, really, like, they just nudged me enough and triggered me enough that it was like, okay, now I know how to break up and I can do it with confidence. And I don't care if you were going to pay me triple. We do not want your money because we don't want to work with you. So that's a hard part of the leadership journey, is getting to that point where you're like, I don't need their business because it's going to cause more harm than good.
It's, to your point, it's hard. And depending on what stage in your journey where the revenue matters, right? It is hard to be able to make the decision to say, you know what, we're going to turn this away because it's the right thing for us. Everyone listening, thank you guys for your time as well. And if you've enjoyed this episode, please rate and follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, subscribe on YouTube, connect with me on LinkedIn. And until next time, we'll see you soon.